In Common Home Conversations, you will hear from leading global experts on how the proposal of recognizing the existence of an intangible global common without borders can change our relationship with our planet.
We should not think about a specific country or a community, but about the planet as a whole. With the COVID-19, I think that we have learned a hard lesson is that we are so frail as a species. We are so vulnerable, and our strength lies on our interconnectedness and on our capacity of acting and doing together.
Now we are a big world on a small planet, and that changes the game entirely. And we completely lack the legal instruments and legal framework we need in this new situation of the 21st century.
We can't rely on the Paris Agreement and on ongoing negotiations. There needs to be a far more fundamental understanding that the atmosphere as a whole requires a legal status, and the legal status would indeed be the common heritage notion.
The Common Home of Humanity has proposed an ambitious new global pact for the environment. The adverse effects of climate change span across borders and beyond territories. Recognizing the Earth system as a common heritage of humankind is the first step in restoring a stable climate, a visible manifestation of a well-functioning Earth system.
We have all the tools that we need to recognize a global common, to measure the impacts, to define the global common, to change. The only obstacle that we have in our heads, in our ideas, is to accept that we have a global common without borders.
Common heritage tells us that territorial sovereignty can no longer be used as a justification to not fulfill those common responsibilities, or as a justification for abdication of responsibility. So common heritage really does transform ideas around territorial sovereignty and sovereign rights, and imposes upon our understanding of territorial sovereignty this deep collective responsibility to work for the benefit of all.
We live in an increasingly turbulent world, with increasing pressure on people and the planet, triggering extreme shocks such as disease outbreaks, droughts, floods, and heat waves. A window of opportunity for avoiding dangerous climate change is rapidly closing, and scientists are warning about a planetary tipping point that can lie just ahead.
You cannot solve, as the saying goes, you cannot solve a problem, a vexing problem within the confines of that problem. You have to go outside of the problem. And I think that that's what Common Home does. It's leaping outside of the confines of national and even multilateral policymaking and going one higher order up. And I think that is the thinking that has to happen now.
Paris Agreement is wonderful, but that's not enough. And we should integrate all the important parts of environmental agenda. So that's the beauty of Global Environment Pact, and which, to my eyes, should go beyond the borders.
We need to be able to focus on climate and other environmental concerns. The pace of biodiversity loss is just staggering, and it's going to have untold consequences. So the way to address those is, again, getting back to first principles. Things like the Global Pact for the Environment can contribute significantly.
All humans share the positive and negative consequences of one another's acts on a global scale.
Sustainability is the issue that brings the nations together, the societies together. So that's why I think that the Global Pact for the Environment is a new way to show not only the challenges that you have consider environmental protection, the global environmental protection, but it's a new way to show and to share the connection among different societies and different people.
The Global Pact for the Environment has a lot of potential to bringing us together as humans who recognize that we have a shared home, that we have a shared and vested interests in preserving that home and preserving all of the wonderful gifts and that come from the diversity of ecosystem functions that this home provides. And that in that unity, we can break through all of the noise and all of the different aspects of division and of difference to find common ground and to find a common purpose in restoring our shared responsibility to all that's been gifted to us.
The change is possible. The change is possible because the world showed us overnight how the COVID-19 come and change the life in general. So if we all agree that we can fight the COVID together, not in silo, so we do have the hope to fight all the rest of the crisis.
Although we face unprecedented circumstances with the climate crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic, history has shown us that humanity has the strength and resilience to overcome these overwhelming obstacles. By coming together to protect our common home with a global pact for the environment, we can co-create a future that benefits all. The legal framework proposed by the Common Home of Humanity can help us to deal with the issues we face together.
If not now, then when? And if not us, then who?